What's going on, guys? So I've been traveling way too much for my job lately. I'm in the middle of a 6-week straight span of traveling. So I have a couple of hours right now to try to fix my car. And one of those hours was spent driving to the dealership to pick up this new cam position sensor that hopefully fixes my issue. So I need to install that sensor right here. A little tricky to get to, and then just try jumping her again and see what happens. I think it's a T30 holding that. Okay, got a T30 here. I'm pretty sure that's the right size. This is a pretty tough to get in here. Finally getting it right now. And we'll see if I can get my torque wrench in there. It might be pretty tough to get a torque wrench in there. Bolt is out. All right. There we go. So I got this one out. Let's put the new one in. So here's the new one. Looks like it has a little cap on it. Or is that just what it looks like? It doesn't look like a cap because this O-ring is going over top of it. See, that blue piece goes all the way down. So maybe this is just a newer revision. Let's see, the part number ends in B, 163B. Let's look at the other one. This one says completely different part number, 07K907K01A. Not sure what's up with that, but hopefully this works. There's a bunch of shit on this one. Yeah, hopefully this one's just bad. I'm gonna grab a tiny bit of oil just to put on this O-ring, then I'm gonna throw it in there and tighten it up. So I got that guy all the way in. It's just a little bit rotated off of where it should be. I just got that puppy torqued down to 10 Newton meters. So that is all set. I just have to plug it back in and I'll be good to go. I can get my jumper cables ready, hooked up to my Acura. I'm gonna run this one mathless again, so I'll be back when everything's all set up. So I have my jumper cables hooked up. This battery is completely fried. It's a Braille lithium ion battery. It's like 7 pounds, but the previous owner had it. It's been running for a few years. I probably overcharged it one time. The thing's completely toast. I have a new Braille on the way. I didn't get the same one. You guys will see in a future video which one I got. But it is a lightweight battery. It's just not quite as light as that one. I mean, 7 pounds is pretty ridiculous. You have to spend like a little bit over $500 to get one of those batteries. So I don't feel like spending that much, so I got one of the cheaper ones. So we're all hooked up here. I'm just gonna clear the P0016 code and log this startup and see how it goes. So we're logging. We're in neutral. We're hooked up. We're ready to go here. Give it some revs and see if it has the problem again. Smoky, really smoky. I'm gonna try to hold it around 2,000, see what happens here. Steadier today. Before, when I would have my foot at a constant position, like a constant pedal position, the RPMs would bounce up and down by like a couple hundred RPMs. This time it's pretty steady. It's only within like maybe 50 RPMs. But I think that's just my foot not being perfectly steady. So it sounds a lot better now. I don't know if that has anything to do with that cam position sensor, but that's the only thing that I've changed. I mean, that's way steadier than it was before. You would see it dropping from like the pedal, I'm not changing the pedal position, and it's bouncing up and down. As it's warming up, it does that. I'm gonna let it go. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. That makes me feel like this didn't solve the problem that I have, because I think that's related to the problem that I have with the that fault code and the misfiring and all that stuff. And now we're at full operating temperature, and the idle sounds a lot worse now. Ignition advance is jumping around a lot more, and I was getting some minor knock in cylinder 4. A little bit of knock in 3. So now I'm gonna try giving it a few revs, see what happens. Well, I don't know if it's fixed or if it's still messed up, but what I'm gonna try next is shutting it off, and I'm gonna run it with the MAF this time and see what that does. MAF sensor is going in. Runs pretty shitty. So let me give this a few revs and see if it knocks. First I'll try holding it around 2. Knocks immediately. That's a constant pedal position. Let's give it one more rev here, see what happens. I'm gonna see if it's, I don't know if it's throwing that code again. Check engine light's not on, so I don't think it is. Alright, let's check. Code is back. Well guys, I have no idea what to do now. No knocking at all on all this. Alright, so I'm gonna stop logging and I'm gonna check to see if I have any codes. The light isn't on. Fault codes. 0 fault codes.
Coach over in with. It's another, if you in Atlanta, so that's what you title contender. You can't be the 6th seed, 11 games out of the top spot, and the Lions share then away.
Yeah, I mean, listen, see, once they're on the road, they're winning the NBA championship.
Yeah, they kind of look right at their big boy sales for one. Calm.
The Clippers and Lakers are going to beat each other up. So,
yeah.
Now,
Who makes it out of the West? They're not going to be as fresh.
Down to the end, I think it's going to be a close game. We got 2 good teams.
Alright, let's try again to get this torque solution guy on here. I have a new clip right here. They just sent me out free of charge. There we go. So hopefully this one doesn't snap like the other one did. Okay, so as you can see, you can't even get this clip in here at all. It doesn't even go through. It's just too thick right there. So I would have to like sand this down to get the fit in there or something. I'm not sure. It's a very poorly designed piece. The clip is just way too thick. So I guess I'll just stick the other one back in for now. Oh, never mind. I'm using the wrong one. This is the correct one. Oh, I'm an idiot. Alright, well let me try again.
25% back in rewards. A nice way to start the new year. Staples in store. S2126 rewards.
That is not going on. As hard as I push, I cannot get that far enough for this clip to snap over that piece right there. It's just not gonna happen. This manifold's gonna break before I get it to seat all the way. I was pushing as hard as I possibly could there on this plastic manifold. So, looks like this guy's going back on, unfortunately. For better or for worse. Alright. MAF unplugged. Intake's clamped down. So I'm ready to jump it and take it for a test drive. And this time it's going to be a wide open throttle log up to about 5,500 RPM because that's what Frank asked for. Sounds a little bit funny right now. The map's not plugged in. Let's see. It's not knocking. What's going on, guys? Today I have a new battery for my Golf R. It's a lightweight battery from Braille, but it's not a fancy lithium-ion battery like I used to have because those cost $550. So this one is not 7 pounds like that lithium-ion one. It is 15. Oops. It's 15 pounds, which is still pretty good. And it's an AGM battery. So this thing cost $200 shipped, which is pretty damn good for a 15-pound battery. And supposedly it's going to be good for daily drive use, even in cold temperatures. Not that it's, that cold, but it's no Florida weather. So let's get this old lithium ion out. I'm gonna miss this thing. So easy replacing it. Just pick it up with one hand, just pop it right out. I mean, this one you should be able to pick up with one hand too. I don't know how big it is physically, because this one's just nice. You can just grab it all the way like that with one hand. That one, I don't know if it's bigger, but we'll see when it comes out. So my main question is, will this thing, this whole setup right here, be able to be reused with the new AGM battery? So I don't know if the dimensions are the same, but on this one, this battery is nice and small, and it's held in by this little stud kit right here that then hold this top piece on with a little plastic washer and a wing nut. So if all of that is reused on this new battery, that'd be perfect. That'll be really nice. Yeah, this thing's like a joke how light it is. It's so nice. Makes battery removal incredibly easy. So now let's open up the new one. Wow, this thing is tiny. Looks like it should be pretty similar. You just gotta install these guys on there. So according to the instructions right here, you can actually side mount the terminals. So instead of it being mounted on the top like that, which is how mine are over here, you can, if you need to, mount them on the side right through that little threaded hole right there. But if you're gonna do that, they say that when you're using the side mounted terminals, you're only supposed to use the brass spacers provided on the red terminal cap. So those little brass spacers right there are supposed to be used if you're gonna mount them on the side. And this is just a little cap that is just covering that up. So as you can see right there, the side threaded hole. And here's some extra screws. Looks like they're just extras, probably just spares, but these ones in here are a little bit longer. Now I don't know if one is supposed to be used for the positive and one's supposed to be used for the negative, but they are different sizes. Yeah, so the positive is the thicker one with that little smooth stripe in the middle, which is this one. So this one is the positive, so this one should go over here, and this one is the negative, so that should go over there. Should be able to just plop these guys in there. Get that one in place right there. Got to go grab a Allen key or a little hex key to tighten those down. I'm just gonna do a little size comparison here. So this AGM is tiny, really small, but that's a good thing. Shouldn't have any issue fitting it in there, using those same studs as before, using the whole same setup as before. Really, it's just a smaller package and a lot heavier. And this one's still light, you can still pick it up with one hand, but twice the weight. So yeah, that'll fit in there nicely. The lithium ion looked pretty damn small in the stock battery compartment, but this one looks like ridiculous. Look at that, looks ridiculous. I'm wondering if the car is gonna start. All right, so this is gonna have to be adjusted since this battery is much smaller, because that is clearly too big. All right, there you have it. Everything is tightened down. Let's see if it starts up. Well, we got power. Hey, nice. So the downside with these AGM batteries is that, well, this 15-pound one has about 35 minutes of reserve capacity. So you can only run your accessories with the car off for about 35 minutes, which is pretty low. But I saw some batteries that had less than 20-minute reserve capacity ratings, so this isn't that bad. They do rate this one for daily driving use, so I should be fine. The cold cranking amps are pretty decent. I can't remember what the exact rating is for this one, but I shouldn't have any issue daily driving this as long as I'm careful about not using accessories and keeping my headlights on, stuff like that. So for 15 pounds, $200 shipped is pretty damn good. I got that deal with just a $10 off coupon on Jegs. I do recommend Jegs. They shipped this out extremely quickly. Yeah, so that's the only downside with this. And then the other actually big downside with these is that once the battery dies, you can jump it, but it'll take time to recharge itself. So you can't just jump it and then let then just take the car for a 5-minute drive and expect it to be fully charged again. It supposedly can take, I don't know exactly how long it can take, but you might have to give it a much more extended drive to get it to fully charge up, because they charge very slowly. You can use a normal car battery tender or battery charger for it, but it will take longer than on a standard battery. I can give a long-term review on this battery if anyone wants that. That is it for this video.